Today is the day where I make weird things that pop into my head, so today we're making a spiced mango and custard pie. First, preheat your oven to 350, and right now I'm just going to roll out the dough, put it in the pie tin, and then poke some holes so that it does not rise in the oven. So now I'm going to make my custard, and for my custard I'm going to use 2 eggs, some buttery dough extract, because we are sadly out of vanilla extracts. Just pour that in. After that, I'm going to add 3 scoops of brown sugar, which is about 1/3 or 1/4 of a cup. Then I'm going to whisk until all of this is combined. And after that, I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. So here I am, just pouring in my milk. After this, you want to whisk it until everything is combined for about a minute on heat. Now that everything is combined, I'm just going to add some cinnamon and nutmeg and make sure to incorporate all of that in. Once all of that is whisked in, we're going to sift our custard to get out any lumps. Put this into the pie tin. Don't worry, it'll bake the same. After this, we're going to put this into our oven for 40 to 45 minutes. Then I can start chopping my mangoes. As you can see, I have 2 on my board, but I actually ended up using 4. This is where I ran into my problem. Do not poke in the holes. My pie dough starts to rise. I had to come and re-poke the holes, but everything was okay in the end. So then I added my mangoes to this pot. Then I added 3 spoons of sugar, which is about 1/3 cup. After that, I added some cinnamon and nutmeg and I added some maple syrup for caramelization. Then I added 1/2 cup of milk and I stirred that until everything was combined. It eventually burned on the side, so I just added 2 teaspoons of flour to make sure that it did not burn anymore. Once I got my custard out of the oven, I had to go, so I put it on a bag of ice, which wasn't the best choice and it didn't cool down at all. But eventually I just had to leave, so I put the mango on my custard. But once I got back home, I was able to try it, and it was honestly really good. I would give it a 9 and 10, because who cannot resist creamy custard with mangoes and warm spices? I definitely recommend for you guys to try the recipe and to leave reviews or suggestions in the comments below. Hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!